There are flowers that catch our attention because they bloom high above us. And then there are flowers like this one. They do something unexpected. Instead of reaching upward, they choose to hang gently toward the earth. The first time I saw one closely, I found myself asking, why would a flower choose to bloom this way? Nature really does anything without a reason. And so I began to learn its story. This remarkable plant is called Heliconia, often known as the Hanging Lobster Claw. Long before it appeared in our gardens, it belonged to another world. Its ancestors grew in the rainforests of Central and South America, places like Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, Ecuador, and Brazil. For thousands of years, it lived beneath towering tropical trees. Then people began traveling. Ships crossed oceans, plants traveled with explorers, botanists, traders, and gardeners. One day, this flower left the forest where it had evolved. It crossed continents, crossed oceans, crossed cultures, and eventually it found a new home in tropical Asia. Today, it grows happily in places as different as Kerala, Thailand, Indonesia, and even my home state of Manipur. It makes me wonder, perhaps nature has always known something that we sometimes forget: life spirits. Not by staying where it began, but by finding places where it can continue to flourish. Yet, its greatest lesson is not where it came from, it is how it blooms. Look carefully. Those brilliant red structures are not actually the flowers. They are called the bracts. The true flower are much smaller. They emerge quietly from within these colorful shelters. The bright bracts are signals that tell visiting birds there is nectar here. Beauty in nature is often an invitation, not an advertisement. Then I noticed something else. Almost every flower we know tries to face the sky. This one faces the earth. At first, that seems almost backward until you discover why. In the rainforest where this plant evolved, its main pollinators were hummingbirds. The hanging position allowed them to hover effortlessly beneath its bract while drinking nectar. The downward-facing design also protects the flowers from heavy tropical rain. Water simply runs away. What first appears unusual turned out to be a brilliant engineering. Nature teaches us that there is no single way to grow. Sometimes wisdom is found not in standing taller, but in finding the position where you can best fulfill your purpose. I thought about our own lives. How often do we measure success by climbing upward, higher positions, greater recognition, louder applause? But this flower reminds us of another possibility. You can face downward and still bloom magnificently. You can remain close to the earth and still become unforgettable. Perhaps humility is not thinking less of ourselves. Perhaps humility is knowing exactly who we are and quietly doing what we were created to do. This is another detail I find beautiful. Each bract grows from the same stem, one after the other. It's perfectly spaced, none competing, none trying to replace the one above it. Each contributes to the beauty of the whole. There is room for everyone. What if families worked that way? What if communities did? What if nations did? What if we all do the same? As I stood looking at this extraordinary flower, I realized I was not simply looking at a plant, I was looking at a traveler that crossed oceans, adapted to new lands, welcomed unfamiliar birds and insects, bloomed in a different home, yet never lost its destiny. There is something quietly hopeful about that. In a world where people move across cities, countries, and continents, perhaps home is not always the place where we began. Perhaps home is the place where we continue to grow while remaining true to who we are. Before I walked away, I looked at it one last time, still hanging gently, still pointing towards the earth, still teaching a lesson without saying a word. Perhaps the greatest lives are not those that stand above everyone else. Perhaps they are the ones that remain deeply rooted, bent with grace, offer what they have freely, and quietly help life continue. Like this flower, they bloom without ever needing to stand up to the top. Perhaps this is why nature whispers instead of shouts. Its deepest truths are usually hanging quietly, waiting for someone to look up or perhaps to look down. You are listening to Yeningthagi Whispers of Life, a new story every Sunday.